Alright guys, so this video is for your artículos en español video. So look at the note sheet that's yellow. It's the baby duck yellow one. So this one's going to talk about the el, la, los, and las. It's also going to talk about the un, una, unos, and unas. So looking at the side that says articles in Spanish and that has the little paragraph, and underneath it says definite articles, we're going to fill in the paragraph together. So, Spanish, unlike English, uses gender to classify nouns. Each noun has a gender and is either masculine or feminine. So, blank 1, blank 2, blank 3. Then we've got the next section that says definite articles. And I know you're probably thinking, how in the world can a noun be masculine or feminine? It's not that the noun itself is male or female, and it's not that the object is male or female. It's just an arbitrary thing assigned to the word itself. So, the first article we have is el. No accent, because the accent would mean he. So, el means the. And it is masculine. So el is masculine. Masculine words typically end in the letter O. So in our classroom we have words on the wall. And we have things like el calendario, el cielo. Those are words that we have on the wall that end in O. But then we've also got other words on the wall that are masculine that don't end in O. Logan, that's a nicely timed drink of water. Thank you. We've got el nube, which is the cloud on the wall. We have el sol. It ends in L. That's the sun. And then the umbrella that's on the wall says el paraguas. It ends in an A and it's masculine. So, when I give you a vocab list, it will have the articles on it. It will say el or la with all of your nouns. You need to memorize the article that you're given with each one of your nouns so that you know whether it's masculine or feminine. Because other than that, you can only really guess. So, the example that you're given on this is el perro. My dogs are laying on the floor. One's at my feet chewing a bone, you can probably hear her, and the other one's laying on the rug. We'll talk about the boy dog since this is el perro. So since this is one, it's he, we're going to use es as our verb. He is. El perro es. El perro's name is Logan, so you could even change this to Logan if we wanted to. Alright, so we've got the dog on the floor. Logan. El perro, Logan, es. He's lazy. Perezoso. Él es perezoso. So, we're going to leave this O on here because it's el perro. It's a masculine dog, so we're going to use the masculine ending to our adjective. If you remember from class, I told you that if you're describing a boy, you use an O, and if you're describing a girl, you use an A. Well, this is masculine, which makes it manly, boy. So we use the O. And there's only one dog, so we're going to use just the singular. We wouldn't put an S here. All right, so the next section says la. La also means the. La means the. La is feminine. It's feminine. Feminine words tend to end in A, the letter A. On our walls in the classroom, we have examples that end in A. We have la mariposa. The butterflies end in A. Think of another one that we have in there that ends in an A. That's a harder one. La pizarra, the board. La pizarra ends in an A. The chair at the front of the room. La silla ends in an A. And then we've got a lot of words in there that are feminine that don't end in an A. So we have la pared. La pared is the wall. That does not end in an A. So you can't always count on it ending in an A, but for the most part, words that end in A are feminine. So looking at your notes, the next thing on there is your example. La rana. La rana is a frog. So let's talk about the frog. La rana es, this frog hasn't had anywhere near enough flies. She's flaco. But because it's a girl, even if the frog is a boy, this is a feminine word, and it has la, it ends in A, so we have to have flaca. This has to agree in gender. So the la agrees with rana, the flaca agrees with rana, and then the verb is the third person singular, which agrees with rana as well. All right, so now that we know what el and la mean, nouns in Spanish must agree not only in gender, but also in number. For that reason, we have the articles los and las. So those are what we're going to look at next. Los means the. So los means the, just the same as el and la. And los is masculine. Los is masculine. We use it for plural masculine nouns. So the example is los perros. And just like when we're talking about the subjects in Spanish, where if we're talking about they and we add a boy, as soon as we add one boy, it becomes ellos. So I have two dogs. One's a girl and one's a boy. But because one's a boy, they're just called los perros together. So, los perros, my dogs, the dogs of Señorita Franks, son, because there's more than one. They are something. So we use son. It's ellos. Los perros son. We'll call them both lazy. Pere. That's an E. Perezo. So. But because there's two, we have an S here. We have los. Son perezosos. Los perros son perezosos. Because there's more than one dog, our adjective has to be plural. So it matches. There's OS, OS, OS. They all match. All right. So let's look at the la section. La means the same, or las, sorry. Las means the same as los. Las means the. And it is feminine. So las is feminine. We use it for plural feminine nouns. Your example on this one is las ranas, the frogs. So this is more than one frog, and they're all skinny. So we're going to use son because it's more than one. It's the third person plural. Las ranas son. We've got flaca because it's a feminine noun. And then we're going to put the S because we have AS, AS, AS. Flacas. Las ranas son flacas. All right. So let's look. If you scroll down a little bit, you see another page that says indefinite articles. If you're not on your computer with your paper, flip it over to the other side where it says indefinite articles. We've got one that says un. What in the world does this mean? What's an indefinite article? The ones we were just looking at are definite articles. They mean the. They're talking about one specific item. They're talking about the marker. Not a marker, the marker. The indefinite articles are just talking about some item. It doesn't matter which one. So, a marker. I have a marker, as opposed to the marker. So, un means a, as an a marker. And it is masculine. We use it for masculine nouns. So the first blank is a. The second two blanks are both masculine. Your example is un perro. So just a dog. Not my dog. Not the dog that's in this room. Just a dog. Un perro es. So a dog is... What would be a good adjective for a dog that you guys know how to say? How about funny? Dogs are funny. They do silly things. Cómico. A dog is funny. And because this is a singular masculine and a singular masculine article, we're going to leave this as O and we're not going to add an S. Un perro es cómico. And then we have una. Una is the feminine version of un. Una means a. And it is feminine. We use it for feminine nouns. Your example is... Oh no, it's not going to write. Una rana. Just a frog. So, a frog es, una rana es, we're going to say that our frog is fat. A frog is fat. Good. And then because this is a singular feminine, our adjective has to be a singular feminine. Una rana es gorda. All right. So the next section says, nouns in Spanish must agree in both number and gender. So just like above, or on the next page, that's supposed to be an R. Gender and number. So gender and number. Meaning that we have more indefinite articles to look at. We've got some plural ones we need to look at. So we have unos. Unos means some. And it is masculine. We use it for plural masculine nouns. So when there's more than one of the noun, your example is unos perros. Tengo unos perros. I have some dogs. Unos perros son. We need a word to describe a bunch of dogs. Some dogs, I have a short dog and I have a tall dog. So some dogs are short. Unos perros son bajos. Because this is masculine, we leave the O. And because it's plural, we keep the S. Look over here. O-S, O-S, O-S. Unos perros son bajos. All right. The next one is unas. Last one. We're almost done with articles. Unas means some. So, some, unas, is feminine. We use it for plural feminine nouns. An example is unas ranas. Unas ranas. Some frogs son, because it's more than one frog, we have to use son. Unas ranas son, we'll do serious. Some frogs are serious. You have seri, it is feminine, so I'm going to put an A. It's plural, so I'm going to put an S. Unas ranas son serias. So it agrees in number and gender. And look, we have subject. The subject is unas ranas. The verb is son. And then we've got our adjective, serias. So, looking at that bold section below, not all masculine words end in O. Not all feminine words end in A. I said this before and I gave you examples. You will need to pay attention to what article you are given with words. Your vocab sheet will always give you L or la with the word, and you need to memorize it along with the word. So it's part of the word. You need to know the gender of the word in order to be successful. When you look up something in a dictionary, because we're going to get some Spanish dictionaries, you will need to know whether it is masculine or feminine. If you have any questions, I am more than happy to answer them for you.